The Arcot theory was unusual. Bridgestone engineers used the tire in motion to shape a new design. Result, compared to our proven conventional radials, more tire stays in contact with the road for sharper cornering and quicker stops. Bridgestone Arcot, taking the abstract to the concrete.
Enter the Bridgestone Performance Sweepstakes at your Bridgestone dealer, and you could win a Mazda Miata or a set of Bridgestone tires.
You've worked hard to set aside your savings. Now you should be looking for the best place to invest those savings, to turn them into something even more valuable. Canada Savings Bonds. They offer an attractive interest rate that's guaranteed for a full year, and you can cash them at any time. Turn your savings into a profitable investment with Canada Savings Bonds. Buy yours from October 17th to November 1st.
Do it right the first time with GE Silicones, available at Home Hardware.
I treat a lot of cases of overworked muscles. And one of the treatments I rely on is new deep cold therapy, a cool, penetrating gel that helps ease the pain of overworked muscles.
Deep cold therapy helps you get on with your active day.
Just like old times for the Blue Jays. David Wells back in the bullpen. On in place of Tom Candiotti. Ward in behind him. The only difference is Tom Hinkie can't go tonight, and Ward will be used to shut things down later. If Wells can do the job here holding the Angels. There's one out, nobody on. We're in the top of the 7th inning, and Toronto has a 4-3 lead. Inside to Polonia, who singled and grounded out twice. Ball 1.
David moved to the bullpen September 13th. He worked the first game of this series, pitched the 9th inning, gave up 2 hits. Then got a double play to get out of the inning in the game.
2-0 to Polonia. Strike 2-1. To Polonia, who bats at the top of the order for the Angels. Now 3-1. Full count. Max Venable due up, but Dave Gallagher loosening up on deck. Right-handed hitter to pinch hit for Venable. Here's the payoff. Fouled off. Polonia has some good at-bats. He's aboard. Tying runs on. One out in the Angels' 7th. And now it's Dave Gallagher to pinch hit for Max Venable. Mike Timlin getting ready in the bullpen.
Gallagher singled off Wells Monday night to start the 9th inning.
Pretty good numbers as a pinch hitter. 4 hits this year and 10 tries pinch hitting. Just over a week ago in Anaheim, David Wells came into a ball game and picked Polonia off first base. Polonia's been picked off once already tonight by Candiotti, so he'll be extra careful, I'm sure, at this point. He's stolen 48.
David Wells has a good pickoff move. It's not a real tricky move, but his timing is impeccable. He's got a good sense for when to go to first.
Goes to the plate to Gallagher. Ball 1-1-1.
He'll also come with that slide step that'll disrupt the timing that Polonia is trying to work on at first base. Bobby Knopp, the third base coach, passed the signals along to Gallagher and Polonia.
One ball, one strike, one out, man on first. Now over to first, where Polonia is back in.
When Wells picked Polonia off first in Anaheim, Polonia and Bruce Hines, the first base coach, argued that his foot went behind the rubber. When that happens, the pitcher has to go home. But Wells stepped towards first. Polonia was caught.
Out at second, Lee and Alomar have just had a little conference. Now Wells is set. So is Gallagher. Ball and a strike. Polonia has his lead. Fly ball to right field. Joe Carter makes the catch. Gets the ball in. Polonia's back to first. 2 out. And it'll be another pinch hitter now. Polonia at first, 2 away, and another right-handed batter coming up. Ruben Amaro is a switch hitter. And you may wonder why he would pinch hit for a switch hitter, but Junior Felix has had a rib problem. And so Buck Rogers let him start against the right-hander and bat left-handed, but he doesn't want him batting right-handed because it hurts his side. So he pinch hits with Ruben Amaro. Strike 1 from Wells. For 3 Blue Jays. 2 away, top of the 7th. Wells over to first. Polonia's back. One strike pitch. 0-2 to Amaro. Another of the late season call-ups from Edmonton. Amaro hit .326 with the Trappers. But he's 0-2 in the 7th inning against David Wells with a runner on first. And his team trailing by a run. Now Manny Lee coming into the mound to speak with Wells.
Manny Lee wanted to come in and check with David Wells to make sure that they were going to stick to the way they had discussed pitching to Amaro so he would be in the proper position. Now he's really looking in for the signs.
0-2 pitch. Outside, ball 1.
Amaro pinch hit in last night's game, hit into a 1-6-3 double play to end the game against Dwayne Ward.
Polonia takes his lead. Wells looks in, glances over to Polonia, now to the plate, fouled back by Amaro.
David Wells might be able to outweight Polonia on this pitch.
Goes to the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ruben Amaro. Polonia still at first.
I believe Polonia's got to try to force it right here. Club's down by a run. Even though he's been picked off once already and picked off earlier in the season by David Wells. That's his job. Steal a base, get in scoring position.
There he goes. Fouled off by Amaro.
Had a pretty good jump that time. He's seen enough of Wells to get a pretty good read on it. This is where David's going to have to mix up his deliveries to the plate. Well, here's a little bit late. He was standing still when that foot crossed the plane to the rubber. So he's not real comfortable yet against David Wells.
Just a little nervous about that move of Wells, having been picked off by it before. Inching out towards the carpet with his lead. 2-2 pitch. High fly ball, foul territory. Carter running hard near the seats. And he makes the catch. A great play by Joe Carter to end the Angels' 7th. Time for the 7th inning stretch. This is Labatt's Blue Jays baseball on TSN.
Yoo-hoo.
You know the one, McDonald's. Food, folks, and fun.
Handles the car, just handles like that. I'm telling you, it's so responsive. Ooh, this is nice. This is really nice. Beautiful. It's unbelievable the way it handles through that S. This is really different. Where's the ejection button?
It was very nice. Very nice. Not at all what I expected. Kit's getting a bit of a more European look to it. Well, the thing that I liked about the brakes was that you felt that they were really hugging the road. It's a nice, tight, sporty car. I'll go for red or black.
When you get engaged, you want to find the right words.
What do you say we go off when we get married? We could go to Niagara Falls.
You also want to find the right diamond.
I think we'd make a successful merger.
Well, let's go off to the ranch and get hitched.
But how much do you spend on a diamond for the woman you love?
Forget it.
A good guideline is 2 months' salary.
Will you marry me?
Yes.
Yes?
Ask your local jeweler about the 2 month salary guideline. A diamond is forever.
Always liked the falls, didn't you?
So appreciative is Joe Carter on Fan Appreciation Night. He gets real close to some of the fans.
Look at the determination on his face. He didn't want Amaro to have another shot at putting the ball in play. Great concentration. He wins the battle with the fans and falls into the seats. I don't think these guys want to wrap this thing up tonight.
The reasons are many that they want to wrap it up tonight. First, they get the job done. They have an off day tomorrow to enjoy it, the championship. But it's so important for the 3 days in Minnesota to get it all done tonight, to get Tom Henke some games, to set up the rotation. Wayne Ward now loosening up in the bullpen. Roberto Alomar lead off the bottom of the 7th with a 4-3 lead. Mark Eichhorn on the mound, the 4th pitcher of the night for Buck Rogers' California Angels. High fly ball, right center field. That's Dave Gallagher in for Junior Felix that made the catch in center field.
Gallagher came out as a pinch hitter for Max Venable. He moves to center field.
Ruben Amaro is now playing in right. Gallagher's playing way over in left center now with Joe Carter up. Ball one from Mark Eichhorn. Cold foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Carter grounded into an inning-ending double play on the first pitch from Scott Lewis in the 5th. Bases loaded and 1 out. 2 runs were in. Outside, 2 balls and a strike to Carter. Swing and a miss at a 2-1 pitch. Counts even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Boston holding on to a 1-run lead as the Tigers bat at Fenway in the 7th. Here's Mark Eichhorn's 2-2 pitch. Carter reached out, fouled it off to stay alive. The win tonight, and the Blue Jays wrap it up and would start the American League Championship Series against the Minnesota Twins next Tuesday in the Twin Cities, where they'll already be to play a weekend series. 2-2 pitch to Carter. Eichhorn got him. 2 away.
Eichhorn's 2nd strikeout since coming on in relief in the 6th inning, and that's a little sinking fastball. Even though it's 82 miles an hour, because you look for that slow changeup from Eichhorn, he can get it by you.
2 away, nobody on. John Olerud up. Walked and scored when Maldonado hit his 2-run home run in the 6th. In Minneapolis, the Twins have already announced their starter for the championship series. The first game will be Jack Morris. 1-0 pitch is a strike, ball, and a strike. And this weekend, the only one of their regulars who will pitch as a starter is Scott Erickson, because he's got a chance to win 20, and he won't start in the championship series until the Friday when the series moves to the East Division champions' home. The Twins have shut down Morris. He'll start the championship series, and on the weekend they'll start Danny Neagle and Tom Edens on Friday and Sunday against the Blue Jays. 2 balls and a strike to Olerud. He lines it sharply to right center field. This is going to the wall as Olerud rounds first. Gallagher's over to the ball now and throws it in as Olerud gets to second with a stand-up double with 2 out in the 7th.
John Olerud's 30th double of the year. And all things considered, it's been a fine year for John Olerud, taking over the everyday chores at first base. 68 RBIs, now 30 doubles, 17 home runs. Not a bad sophomore season.
Not at all. Now some insurance and scoring position for Kelly Gruber at the plate, and he's 0 for 3. Gruber hits it hard to left field. Polonia's back to the wall, and he makes the catch on the track, and the inning is over. The Blue Jays got a double. Olerud was stranded. We'll move to the 8th inning in a 1-run ball game. This is Labatt's Blue Jays baseball on TSN.
Play the new Walt Disney World Baseball Magic at A&P in Dominion. Win a trip for 2 to Orlando, Florida, home of Walt Disney World Resort. All trips provided by Canadian Holidays, a world of vacations. or win a TurboGrafx 16 video game system, a Samboro 6-piece luggage set, the Torque Force cordless driver drill from Ryobi, and Dirt Devil vacuums from Royal Appliance. This week's feature, Seal Test Country Choice Cottage Cheese and Cottony Soft Cottonelle.
What do you think you'd find in the 92 Escort GT?
A chartered accountant.
Pedestrian. Family car.
Ever been behind the wheel of the 92 Escort GT?
No. Oh, good. Okay, I'm not alone.
The 1992 Escort GT. The results of positive thinking.
I think I could handle that.
Excuse me, sir, do you ever send packages?
Yes, all the time.
Gee, you're not using another Air Express courier, are you?
No, I just have Federal Express pick my packages up.
Oh, good. Then you know all about their computerized dispatch system.
You mean where they send the nearest courier in the area
Yeah.
to speed the pickup process?
Exactly.
And that I can even schedule regular pickups at no extra charge.
You know this stuff as well as I do.
Yes.
You ever consider managing your own Dropbox?
Oh, no.
You have a natural crouch for it, I'd say. Take a look at this application, sir. Think it over.
Federal Express, absolutely, positively the best in the business.
Benjamin Moore paint is sold on
If
playgrounds
you want my advice, use Benjamin Moore.
and just about everywhere else.
Any color, they've got it.
Because our best salesmen, it's the only paint I use, are the people who use us. See your Benjamin Moore dealer.
Back at Skydome, in the 8th inning, the Angels up against David Wells with the Blue Jays leading 4-3 thanks to a 2-run home run by Candy Maldonado. That came in the 6th inning. Winfield to lead it off against Wells in the 8th. Down in the bullpen, Dwayne Ward has been soft tossing, standing around, throwing the odd pitch just in case. Wells set to go. Winfield has singled and scored, grounded out twice. Outside, ball one from Wells. Ball and a strike. I don't think Winfield thought it was a strike, but Wells was outside in the first pitch, came in a bit on the outside of the plate. The second pitch painted to black. Ball and a strike. Two and one now. Orders wants an appeal. Jim McKean said no. Winfield can go around. 3 balls, 1 strike. Here's Wells 3-1. Cranked by Winfield. Way back in left, way back and gone. It's a home run for Winfield, and the game is tied 4-4. His 4th homer against Blue Jay pitching this season, 13th RBI, and it's tied up 4-4 at Skydome.
Dave Winfield has been a one-man wrecking crew against the Blue Jays. He ties it up, and there's no question about this home run. Watch him. He knows it's gone. He's just going to have a nice, comfortable look at it, mutters a couple of words, and says, yep, number 28 for Dave Winfield.
And career RBI number 1,600. That's 17th on the all-time list for RBIs for Winfield, who turns 40 tomorrow. With Joyner out, he's the most productive hitter in the lineup. And he's really hurt the Blue Jays in this series and all season long. Lee Stevens up 2-0 now. Boston batting in the bottom of the 7th at Fenway Park, leading 3-2. Two balls, no strikes. 2-1. Wells threw a strike. If that game in Boston means something to this race in the American League East, we'll go directly to Fenway Park following the Blue Jay California game here. 3-1 to Stevens. 4-4 here in the 8th inning. Wells 3-1 to Stevens. It's a strike and a full count. Nobody out in the 8th. Now with the score tied, Timlin is up, so is Jim Acker. Fly ball to left. One away. So Wells has one down in this tie game, and Gary Gaetti is coming to the plate. And Galen Cisco's going out to the mound. Pat Borders joins him. Gaetti's had a couple of hits tonight, driven in 2, both off Tom Candiotti.
The balls that Gaetti has got for base hits have been down and out over the plate. David Wells has a good enough fastball to get the fastball inside and tie Gaetti up. But he has to set it up. He just can't pound him inside during the hold at that and expect to get it by.
Home run that Wells gave up to Winfield is the 24th he's surrendered this year. A high on the Blue Jays staff. Now he's set to pitch to Gary Gaetti. Strike one.
Now Gaetti was looking fastball, got the hook from David Wells. So now he has curveball on his mind. Makes him a fraction slower. So that fastball can get in on him.
Up high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Line to center. White running hard, and he makes the catch. Two away, and another fine play by a Blue Jay outfielder.
White wasn't really sure how well this ball was hit. Really has to turn on the jets to make the catch. Take a look. It looked like it may have been hit off the end of the bat. Big swing, and not much came off the bat, so White had to turn on the jets to get that little sinking liner in front of him.
Two away, nobody on. The shortstop Dick Schofield is up. And that's ball 1 from David Wells. Schofield had a double off Candiotti in the 2nd. Grounded out, hit a fly ball to center field, 1 for 3. And he hits a fly ball to center field here. Devon White over to make the catch. Sides retired. Dave Winfield has hit his 28th home run of the season to tie the game as we go to the 8th for the Blue Jays. This is Labatt's Blue Jays baseball on TSN.
Listen, I left my keys inside. Can I go get them? I leave my wallet. Hustle. Thanks. My girlfriend left her keys. Can I run give them to her? Go. Thanks. Thanks. Thanks.
Now you're laughing.
Any trouble getting in? No.
Labatt's Blue.
Back at Sky Dome on the night of the 4 millionth fan. The Blue Jays have surpassed their own record they're setting each night in attendance in the major leagues. The only team ever to draw over 4 million fans in a season. Over 50,000 here again tonight.
Absolutely remarkable the way the fans have flocked to the Sky Dome all year long. 50,000 fans practically every night.
And now the Blue Jays announce the attendance and salute the 4 million. Hard to imagine that it could ever be done again in Major League Baseball. Maybe only here, as long as the Blue Jays continue to be a successful franchise and continue to be a contender for championships. People will keep flocking to Sky Dome. Between the exhibition games they played here, the All-Star game, and with the prospect of postseason games, over 4.5 million people could watch ball games in Toronto's Sky Dome this season. Andy Maldonado up in the 8th inning in a tie game, 4-4 against Mark Eichhorn. Outside 1-1. Maldonado's 2-run home run in the 6th gave the Blue Jays the 4-3 lead that they had until Winfield smoked one off of David Wells to tie it up. Swing and a miss, strike 2, ball and 2 strikes. Guess it's appropriate that this game should be so close, just the way the Blue Jays have played them all season long. And on a night when they can clinch it, a 4-4 tie in the bottom of the 8th.
Well, Cito Gaston knew he wasn't going to have an offensively explosive club. Big changeup gets Maldonado there. 4th strikeout for Mark Eichhorn.
.4 here, and at Fenway Park in Boston, some insurance for the Red Sox. They've taken a 4-2 lead. Steve Lyons has driven in Jack Clark with the 4th Red Sox run of the game. Now Mookie Wilson at the plate. He was a pinch runner for Dave Parker in the 6th inning at the plate for the first time against Mark Eichhorn. And it's ball 1. The at-bats have been few and far between for Mookie late in this season. Fouled off, 1-1. Before this thing is over, the likes of Wilson, who seems like a forgotten man late in the season, and Rance Mulliniks and Pat Tabler, the very experienced Blue Jays bench, I have a feeling are going to play a big part in what goes on.
You know, they've done a good job of keeping themselves sharp. Mookie Wilson has really worked hard to keep his legs sharp. Rance Mulliniks out at 4:30 today, taking extra swings.
Swing and a miss, a ball and 2 strikes.
Eichhorn's the kind of guy that would give Wilson and Mulliniks a lot of trouble because they haven't had a lot of at-bats and their timing really isn't that sharp. They would just as soon face some guy throwing 95 miles an hour than a finesse pitcher like Eichhorn.
Here's his 1-2. 2 away, 5 strikeouts for Eichhorn.
It's really tough when you haven't had many at-bats to sit back and be patient and wait on a pitch. See how Mookie's weight is gone. He's out on the front foot, really off stride, but that's just the result of not many at-bats.
Now 2 out, and here's Pat Borders. 4-4 tie, bottom of the 8th inning. Outside ball 1 to Borders. Ball and a strike, and the Blue Jays are really having trouble with Mark Eichhorn.
Everyone in the American League has had trouble with him this year, just batting .211 before the night's game. This is his 69th game.
Angel bullpen hasn't been great until they can get to Eichhorn and Brian Harvey. Pulled foul by Borders, a ball and 2 strikes.
Eichhorn's a perfect compliment to Brian Harvey. Great setup guy because he throws so slow and Harvey throws so fast. Back to back, they're a tough combination.
Here's the 1-2 to Borders. Scooped it up over the head of Schofield, base hit. He had to gulp at it, and he put it just over the head of the shortstop into left field for a base hit.
Just over Dick Schofield's head. Little Texas leaguer. Now we're going to get a pinch runner. Derek Bell comes on. He'll take over for Pat Borders. Borders leads the game 1-3 with a walk and a run scored tonight. So they put some speed on, and they're going to go to the bench for a pinch hitter. Derek Bell's at first base running for Borders. And just like Jim said, the veterans have a chance to play a role here. Rance Mullinex will bat for Manny Lee with 2 outs and the go-ahead run at first base.
Mullinex was the best pinch hitter in the American League last season, largely because of his late season heroics for the Blue Jays. This year he's been used more as a designated hitter than he has as a pinch hitter. He's 2 for 10 off the bench. Excuse me, 3 for 18 with 4 runs batted in. And with Mullinex announced, Buck Rogers is headed out to the mound.
He's got Cliff Young ready.
Young was in the ball game against the Blue Jays last night. And Eichhorn gives Rogers the ball, and Cliff Young will get it from him.
Well, at least they got Eichhorn out of the game.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt. Buck Rogers is very high on Cliff Young, who was formerly in the Expo and the Blue Jays organization. Really likes what he's seen from him. And he brings him in here with 2 away, a left-handed batter at the plate, and a pinch runner with speed at first base, Derek Bell, running for Borders. So Cliff Young is in to warm up in this 4-4 tie in the 8th inning, and we'll be back to Sky Dome after this.
The painter, the para, the painter, the para, the paint. The room with a view, an expression of you. The painter, the para, the painter, the para, the paint. The nursery, the sunroom, make it a fun room. The para, the painter, the para, the paint. Time for a change, time to rearrange. The painter, the para, the paint.
With the pace of change in today's world, building a high-quality performance sedan and making it affordable has become a manufacturer's dream. Now, it's a reality. Introducing the all-new 16-valve double overhead cam Elantra. Further proof that at today's Hyundai, we're picking up the pace.
Excuse me, sir, do you ever send packages?
Yes, all the time.
Gee, you're not using another Air Express courier, are you?
No, I just have Federal Express pick my packages up.
Oh, good. Then you know all about their computerized dispatch system.
You mean where they send the nearest courier in the area to speed the pickup process?
Exactly.
And that I can even schedule regular pickups at no extra charge.
You know this stuff as well as I do.
Yes.
You ever consider managing your own Dropbox?
Oh, no.
You have a natural crouch for it, I'd say. Take a look at this application, sir. Think it over.
Federal Express, absolutely, positively the best in the business.
Well, after the Angels got a solid 2 1/3 innings out of Mark Eichhorn, they've gone to the left-hander Cliff Young. He's the 5th pitcher of the night for Buck Rogers, and he comes on to face Rance Mullenix, a left-handed hitter, with a runner at first base, and the score tied 4-4, and Mullenix is called back, and Pat Tabler will come into the ball game.
Candiotti, Carter, Maldonado, and Tabler.
And Tabler's had a tough time at the plate lately. 0 for his last 20, but he's been a good pinch hitter this year. Most productive on the Blue Jays, 9 pinch hits and 6 RBIs as a pinch hitter. To the plate, strike 1.
Well, this is what the acquisition of Dave Parker did for the bench. And gave Cito Gaston a couple of veteran hitters off the bench who could come into situations just like this one.
Derek Bell with the lead, the minor league player of the year. Tabler, comebacker. Young gets him. That's all for the Blue Jays in the 8th. They got a man aboard, but the pinch hitter grounded out to the pitcher. We'll go to the 9th in a 4-4 tie at Skydome. This is Labatt's Blue Jays baseball on TSN. Now another update. Here again, Chris Sedens.
This sports update is brought to you by Toyota, the promise of something better.
Let's check in on the Red Sox and the Tigers. Their game tonight at Fenway Park in Boston. We'll go to the action now. We'll tell you it's 2-1 Tigers. Bottom of the 5th, Phil Plantier singles to right field. That brings in Jody Reed. With that, the game is tied at 2. Then, big Mo Vaughn at the plate. Mo Vaughn singles through the left side. Plantier comes in to count, and the Red Sox are ahead 3-2. Then, it's Steve Lyons at the plate. 2 out, bases loaded. He drills one deep to center field. Skeeter Barnes on his horse. Great catch at the wall. And currently playing in the 7th inning, Boston up on Detroit 4-2. More in a moment.
Introducing a car that will actually change the road as you know it. A car that will command the road as impressively as it commands your attention. A car that offers you a new vision and design. Performance. Space. Introducing the all-new Toyota Camry for 1992. Camry. It will change the road forever.
Tom Glavine has become the first 20-game winner in the majors this year. His Atlanta Braves with a 6-3 win over Cincinnati. This means Atlanta now a half game back of the Dodgers. The Dodgers play later tonight against the Padres. Back to the Skydome.
So the pressure's on the Dodgers again with Belcher against Greg Harris tonight. Here it's a tight one, 4-4. Dave Winfield's home run in the 8th off David Wells tied this ball game up. And that's the way it stands as we move to the 9th inning. This is Jim Yusuf with Buck Martinez in the broadcast booth at Skydome, and Rene Gonzalez is into the ball game. Manny Lee was pinch hit for, so Gonzalez is in to play short. Derek Bell was a pinch runner for Pat Porter, so the catcher's out of the ball game, and Greg Myers is in to take over. David Wells still on the mound. 9th inning, and the catcher John Orton at the plate. Angels took a 3-0 lead off Tom Candiotti, but the Blue Jays battled back against Joe Gray, Scott Lewis, Scott Bales. 2-run home run by Candy Maldonado gave them the lead until the 8th when Winfield tied it up. 1-0 to Orton. Fouled it off, 1 ball and 1 strike. Wayne Ward had been up earlier, but with the game tied, Mike Timlin and Jim Acker got up in the bullpen behind David Wells, who works into the 9th inning here. He came on with 1 out in the 7th. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fouled away, 1-2. Fouled at the plate by the 25-year-old catcher John Orton. Warm night inside Skydome. 50,324 packed in here. 1-2. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. David Wells' 2-2 pitch. Fouled off by the young catcher. After Orton, it's Kevin Flora. And the Angels get back to the top of the order. Two-two pitch. Fouled away again. Good at bat, Orton and Wells.
Well, David Wells still has a good fastball. Ever since he moved into the starting rotation, he's been able to throw a much better fastball and actually has had his best curveball of the year. I think because he realizes he's not going to have to throw an extended period of time pitching out of the bullpen.
Here's his 2-2 pitch. Full count. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Orton. Fouls it off. It's a good at bat.
Orton's another one of these guys that's trying to impress Buck Rogers for next year. Anybody that can have a pretty impressive September's got a leg up on it for next season.
And beyond, nobody out, the 3-2 pitch. 6th foul ball. David Wells, the second Blue Jay pitcher of the night. Tom Candiotti went 6 1/3. 3 runs, 7 hits. Wells has given up the home run to Winfield. Only hit he surrendered. Now a long at-bat with John Orton. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Lost it. And the go-ahead runs aboard with nobody out in the 9th inning. That's the second walk surrendered by Wells since he came into the ball game. Tom Candiotti sitting and watching a 4-4 tie, and he'll watch as a pinch runner comes in for Orton, as Sean Abner will come in to run.
Now remember, Buck Rogers is the kind of manager that'll do everything. He'll pinch run, then he'll sacrifice possibility of even hitting and running. Straight steal, but right here in this situation, look for Flora to put down a sacrifice. That's what the Jays have to look for here.
Try and manufacture the go-ahead run. A leadoff walk. A check with the bullpen by Cito Gaston. Flora once fouled. 1 strike. Obviously, it's important for the Blue Jays to hold here. It's one thing, though, to play the Angels in a tie. It's another to try and come back on them, because if they get a run, it means Harv's into the ball game. Buck.
Well, Brian Harvey's been practically unhittable all year long. The Blue Jays seen him, and there he is. He knows what the situation is. Angels get up by a run. He's in the ball game.
Best closer in the American League this year. Wells, 1 strike pitch to Flora. Puts the bunt down. Olerud into fielding. Flora gets the job done as he scoots down the line. He's out. But Orton's walk has led to a man at second base with 1 out.
Flora does a nice job making John Olerud field this bunt. Gruber is right on top of Flora, so he pushes it by David Wells. Olerud has but 1 play. He has to rush it because Flora runs so well, but they get the out at first base. Flora does his job. Now the go-ahead runs at second base.
And Wells will work to Luis Polonia. It's left-hander against left-hander. Gaston brought Wells into the game to face Polonia, the first man he faced after there was 1 out in the top of the 7th, and Wells walked him. Good hitter up with a man on second base. A productive leadoff hitter with 50 RBIs. Slashes away, fouls it off, strike 1.
Polonia is one of those pesky hitters that doesn't try to do too much. He stays back, knows he's got to turn it up a notch facing David Wells, and now Galen Cisco comes out of the dugout again. Have a chat with David Wells.
Tense ball game at Skydome. 4-4 in the 9th inning. Watching this game in Fenway Park, where the Red Sox have a 2-run lead, but the Tigers have 2 men on in the 8th inning. Should that game mean something to the Blue Jays, and their bid to capture the American League East Division title will go directly to Boston when this game is complete. Message delivered.
And just a reminder for David Wells not to forget about his curveball. He's got a base open in this situation. Infield and outfield have to play Polonia around to left. He's a slap hitter hitting out of an open stance, and he'll drive a lot of balls towards left field.
Abner with his lead at second. A 1-strike pitch to Polonia. High and tight, 1-1.
There's a look at the defense. Gruber in at the bag. He has to guard against a bunt. So that is to Polonia's advantage.
One ball, 1 strike, 1 out, and 1 on. 9th inning in a 4-4 tie. He'll slap away at another and foul it into the seats. 1-2. There's a runner in scoring position now for Polonia. Pinch runner, Sean Abner. David Wells, 1-2 pitch. Got it. Throws him with a breaking ball.
Good job by David Wells and Greg Myers setting up Polonia. He gets the curveball to the outside corner, locks him up. He can't pull the trigger. Polonia has been a pest in the Blue Jays side all night long, and right now Wells gets a huge strikeout. And that's going to be the end of his night as Galen Cisco makes his way to the mound again.
Right-handed hitting Dave Gallagher is due up, and they'll go to the bullpen for Mike Timlin. Right-handed pitcher to come in here. 2 outs, top of the 9th inning. Go-ahead run on second base. And Wells will leave the ball game. He gave up just one hit, but it was a home run. Dave Winfield's 28th and his 4th against Toronto pitching this season, tying the game 4-4 in the 8th inning. And now he leaves with 2 out in the 9th in a 4-4 tie. And Mike Timlin is on. We'll be back to Skydome in a moment.
What do you think you'd find in the all-new Escort LXE?
Tricky question.
Little engine that couldn't.
Ever been behind the wheel of the new Escort LXE?
Sounds scary.
Well, no, but...
The all-new Escort LXE. The results are positive thinking.
It is definitely.
At Delta Hotels, our rooms are designed to your preferences with windows that open, work tables, remote control TV, in-room coffee. Even if you want your room to catch the morning sun, we can accommodate you. Delta Hotels and Resorts.
David Wells worked 2 1/3 innings, gave up just 1 hit, but he gave up the home run to Winfield that tied the ball game, and now he's out of the game with 2 outs in the top of the 9th inning in a 4-4 tie. And Mike Timlin is on with the runner on second base, and Timlin has had trouble inheriting runners. 8 of the last 9 runners he's inherited have scored on it. They're charged to other pitchers so they don't show on his record, and to that end he's met with his manager recently.
Well, Jim, Cito wanted to have a chat with Mike Timlin about his pitch selection. And early in the year, Mike Timlin was really in a groove because he was pretty much of the mind, if I throw my sinker ball low, I think I'll have a pretty good chance. Then he began to pitch a little bit, trying to use a 4-seam fastball, a few more sliders. His best pitch is the sinking fastball. It's above 90 miles an hour. And even though he's shown some signs of fatigue late in the year, he's still got to use that bread and butter pitch for him, which is the sinking fastball.
So now it's Dave Gallagher. Now the center fielder, pinch hit earlier for Max Venable. Right-handed hitter on against his right-handed pitcher. And it's inside, ball 1 from Timlin. Sean Abner is the pinch runner for John Orton, who walked, and he's out on second base. (1-0). 2 balls, no strikes.
Jim, what happens when you have a sinker ball pitcher late in the year where fatigue is on his mind? He'll muscle up, and that'll flatten out the sinker ball. And I think that's a problem for Timlin as well. I think he's just trying a bit too hard, trying to make the ball sink, Trying to force his hand. And when he does that, it simply straightens out that sinker ball.
Here's a strike there, 2-1. Tigers have the bases loaded. Mickey Tettleton, home run hitter at the plate. 1 out. Boston leading by 2 in the 8th. Here in the 9th, 4-4, 2 out. Go-ahead run on second base. The 2-1 pitch from Timlin. Up high, 3-1 to Gallagher.
Mike just can't pitch up there. That's not where his strength lies. He's got to get back downstairs. He has to stay with his strength.
Gallagher hits it into left. It's in front of Maldonado. Base hit. Abner rounds third. Coming home. The throw's not in time. The Angels have the lead. And another inherited runner has scored. It's 5-4 Angels in the 9th.
Maldonado had trouble coming up with the handle of the ball here. It double clutches it. It's stuck in his glove, and he uncorks a good, strong throw. But the hesitation costs him as Abner comes across standing up on the play. You can see he double clutched. He just couldn't get a good grip on the ball.
Timlin inherited Abner on second, and he scored. 9 of the last 10 inherited runners have scored on Timlin. He has a man on second base. The Angels lead 5-4. Brian Harvey is warmed and ready in the bullpen. Harv and his 45 saves at the ready. Amaro hits the ball on the ground to right field. Carter up, throwing to the plate. He's out. Gallagher's thrown out at the plate by Joe Carter. But the Angels got a run on the base hit by Dave Gallagher to take the lead.
Good, strong throw by Carter. Myers blocks the plate, takes it away from the runner, Gallagher. Look at his position. Perfect. Drops the knee down. Gallagher never gets to home plate. Myers shows the ball to Ken Kaiser, and Gallagher shot down at the plate.
But the Blue Jays need a big comeback against the toughest reliever in the American League. This is Labatt's Blue Jays Baseball on TSN.
Try this, Baron. Child's play.
85 montre shape, picked by a man with one leg. Your turn.
The tea is Darjeeling, but the water's from a spring in Tibet. Your turn.
Distinctive real cola taste. Diet Coke.
Close, but not close enough.
Caffeine-free Diet Coke. Great cola taste, no caffeine.
Here, help.
Just for the taste of it, Diet Coke.
After testing 17 contenders, the Automobile Journalist Association of Canada voted the Subaru Legacy Family Sedan of the Year again. The Rothmans Limited International. Sunday, October 20th, world-class thoroughbreds compete for a $1 million purse. The Rothmans Limited International. Experience the thrill of a world-class event. Sunday, October 20th, the Rothmans Limited International.
Well, if the Blue Jays are to clinch it tonight, they win this one, they'll deserve it. They've got to try and mount a comeback against the toughest closer in the American League this year. Brian Harvey has been sensational. Notched his 45th save here on Monday night, and he's on to face the top of the order. So Buck, they have the right part of the order up to try and get something going against this tough pitcher.
Well, Jim, they certainly do, but Brian Harvey, probably the premier relief pitcher in baseball this year. Outstanding combination, 95-mile-an-hour fastball, 87-mile-an-hour forkball that looks like a hard spinner. He has had good command of his fastball all year long. That's been the main root of his success.
A run is walked in. Tony Phillips is up. One-run ball game there, and a base hit here. Devon White with a leadoff single in the bottom of the ninth.
Harvey likes to get ahead of the hitters with a good fastball. He gets one right down Broadway. White was geared for it and hammers it by the second baseman into center field. Leadoff base hit, and this is the part of the order that the Blue Jays have counted on all year long. Jim, because Parrish has just come into the game, it might be a time to try him because he's really not had a chance to get good and loose.
White has stolen 33, but he hasn't been stealing much lately. In fact, he's stolen only one in his last 22 games. Parrish in because Orton was pinch run for. Tigers rally snuffed in the 8th inning with the bases loaded. One-run game to the bottom of the 8th at Fenway Park. Swing and a miss by Alomar, strike one.
Jim, he was looking for one of those walk-away chops right there. If he got a hold of that one, this thing would have been over.
White dives back into first base.
thing about having White at first base, Harvey might not get to his forkball as quickly as he would if there weren't a base runner on. That plays into Alomar's hand.
One strike pitch. Knocked down. The throw to second is wild by Flora. White shooting towards third. He's being way towed. Devon White will score to tie the game.
Got the fastball. He hits it sharply on the ground towards second base. Flora knocks it down, and then his throw is wide as he tried to rush it. He knew White had good speed. Look at the hustle, the determination. White rounds the bag, gets the go-ahead from Rich Hacker, and they've tied it up against the toughest reliever in American League. Another look at the throw. Down and in. Schofield had no chance to make a play there. Look at White. He sees the play ahead of him. He knows he can score easily.
5-5. Winning runs on second for Joe Carter. There goes Alomar to third. Parrish won't throw it. Stolen base.
All year long, Alomar has utilized the stolen base to put pressure on the defense. None bigger than the one he just stole to tie Ricky Henderson.
Nobody out. Winning run on third. Base hit. Blue Jays win the East. Let the celebration begin. team that's been in nail-biters all season long saves its best performance for the game they needed to win to clinch. This team took on a whole new look this season. It's the first celebration without Fernandez and Bell. Dave Steve left May 22nd. Pinky's been hurt twice. Lefty free agent Ken Daly hasn't been able to pitch. Last year's MVP Kelly Kruger missed 48 games. Even the manager went on the disabled list for 6 weeks with a bad back. Still, they've held first place for 101 straight days since the 23rd of June. And Toronto celebrates the 3rd championship in 7 years. An incredible 9th inning. A single by Devon White. A ground ball to a second baseman out of Double-A ball, who threw it away and out a run to score. Roberto Alomar stole third base for the 19th time this season. And a base hit by Joe Carter over a drawn-in infield for his 108th RBI clinched it for Toronto. Inside pitch, in on the hands, muscled it over the infield, drawn in, and Joe Carter has won a championship for the first time. The newcomers, White, Alomar, and Carter at the top of the order, who all season long have contributed so much to the Blue Jays attack, combined for a comeback against the toughest reliever in the American League, and Toronto has won the East Division crown. There's a great celebration going on at Skydome tonight. And in the clubhouse of the Toronto Blue Jays, where we'll take you in a few moments, Toronto has clinched and will play the Minnesota Twins in the American League Championship Series starting next Tuesday in the Twin Cities. The Blue Jays 6 and the Angels 5. This is Labatt. Blue Jays baseball on TSN.
Mom, are they ready yet?
I'm still working on it.
Kellogg's Rice Krispie Squares are low in fat, easy to make, and they take no time at all.
These things take time.
But they taste so good. Your family will think you slaved over them all afternoon. And if that's what they think, well, what they don't know won't hurt them. Kellogg's Rice Krispie Squares.
Oh, I don't believe it. You shouldn't have knocked yourself out.
You are watching history unfold. The government of Canada has presented proposals for constitutional reform to Parliament. These proposals are now being studied by a special joint parliamentary committee. We invite you to take part in the process. It's your country. It's your right. Call 1-800-561-1188. Shaping Canada's future together.
Every day at Esso, we go to extremes. From desert heat to minus 40. Quality is essential to us. It's a lot of time, and it's a lot of care.
Our gasoline goes through at least 16 different quality control tests.
Nothing is left to chance. Quality is too important.
From the first test to the last stop.
At Esso, you can count on all of us for the quality of our products.
3M salutes the Olympic athletes who found a better way. Whose ideas were so original, there's no going back. That same innovative thinking helped us invent Scotch brand tapes, and people have been sticking with us ever since. 3M, innovation working for you.
Joe, tell me what was going through your mind. You stepped to the plate. You guys had fought back against one of the toughest pitchers in the league. What were you thinking about when you stepped to the plate in the ninth?
Well, I thought about butting the guy over. Harvey's been... I'm serious, you know. My job is to get the guy over, and I thought about Harvey's been tough on us the whole year. But the first pitch, you know, Robbie's got the running lead. He takes off, and I said, I'm going to take this pitch. He had a great jump. And after he gets on third base, I thought they may walk me, but they decided to pitch to me. And, you know, I knew he'd probably be coming with a fastball. And, he, you know, right in the middle of the play, I was just trying to hit the ball right up the middle. And, you know, it wasn't hit hard. It was a thing of beauty because it went past Schofield's glove. And I tell you what, that was probably the most exciting hit in my career ever.
What was going through your mind when you hit the bag at first?
I was on cloud nine, Buck. You know, I just, you know, I almost passed out. Oh, this is awesome. Oh, man, this is sweet.
Isn't this great?
This is great, Buck. You know,
bring Robbie in right now, Joe. Robbie, both of you guys and Devon White, 3 newcomers all year long. Seems as though they just set the stage for you, and they did it once again in the 9th inning. Tell me what you thought when you got that great jump at second base.
Well, first of all, I have to say thank you to the fans for giving me the support this year that they've been giving us in Toronto. I got the greatest feeling when I was going to home plate. You know, I feel proud about Joe Carter. Joe Carter been struggling the last 2 weeks, and he came through with a big hit. And I'm real happy about him. And I just tried to just steal a base because I knew he got a slow delivery to the plate. So, you know, I've been stealing bases all year round, and Cito gave me the green light, and I went to third base, and I'm happy to have made it.
Robbie, this got to be a dream season for you. New team, new town, new league, and you took it by storm.
Well, I'm really happy to be here, Bob. I've been having a great year so far, and I have to say thank you to God to give me the ability to play this game. And, you know, coming here with Joe Carter, with my best friend, I think so. Yeah, that means something for both. And we're having fun tonight, and I hope we win now. From now on, we have to win the World Series now.
I got to ask you this question. Your daddy won a championship in '76. What's it mean to you now to win one too?
Well, it means a lot. You know, I want to win it this year. This year, we already make it to here. Not a lot of people make it to here where we are now, and we're gonna go for it.
You're not done yet, are you?
No, we're not done yet. We just clinch the division, but from now on, we have to still play hard and still aggressive like the way we've been playing.
Have fun, Robbie. Thank you. Porto, nice going, buddy. Great job. Let me tell you something. You guys have been up against the wall all year long. First of all, Tom Henke went down. You had to pick up the slack at the start of the season. Then at the second part of the season, you got to be very satisfied with what's gone down tonight.
Well, I think, you know, you had a lot of other guys come through for us. You know, when other guys went down, like when Kelly went down, we had Ned Sprague step in and really fill his shoes, and it didn't seem like we ever missed Kelly out there, you know, but, you know, everybody wanted him back, and, you know, he eventually came back and started doing some things for us again. Tom goes down the first time. It was, you know, they come to the bullpen, and they say, hey, we need you guys now, and we need you guys to go hard. And, you know, I mean, everybody came through out there, you know, as well as they possibly could. And, you know, things like that, you know, what I think are different about this team this year and in the years past since I've been here is the fact that you haven't really got one guy standing out, you know, trying to lead everything. It looks like you got 24, 25 guys, and even guys that we got called up here, you know, stepped forward and did something for us.
Dwayne, that attitude was established in spring training, wasn't it?
I think it was. You know, everybody went in there, you know, carefree, really. I mean, with the acquisition of Joe and Robbie and Devon, and everybody just, you know, started getting, you know, happy-go-lucky, you know, kind of atmosphere. And I tell you, I think we just carried it on over. You know, we had a bad spring, but everything turned around, you know, when the season started up, you know, and we had some bad breaks, you know, guys going down, but people turned it around and started picking up other people, and now here we are.
You met the best of the West, and you met the challenge. Congratulations.
Oh, okay, thanks a lot, Bucky.
Enjoy.
Appreciate it. Okay.
Tom Candiotti, congratulations. I'm a little bit wet. Let me tell you, what did you think about taking the mound tonight? You could have been in Cleveland 32 and a half out, but you're pitching in front of 50 grand for the championship of the East.
Man, it was great. It was probably the biggest game I'd ever pitched before, and you know, I was feeling the anticipation of this thing, and just like the whole city was, and and to all of a sudden, you know, be part of that and had a chance to win it. I mean, I tell you, it was a great feeling.
This is a special team, isn't it?
It really is. You know, the guys, since I've been here, they've never stopped. They've never given up. Even tonight was an example. You know, even though they had probably the best relief pitcher in the game today out there, you know, we didn't give up. And Devon started the hit. Robbie hit it hard, and we got a break there. And then Joe Squeak went through, and it was great. I mean, it was a great feeling.
It's magic, isn't it?
Oh, man, it was awesome. I wouldn't trade for nothing.
That's super. Congratulations, Tom. Enjoy the night.
All right, thanks.
Dave Steve sitting back, relishing the moment. And with me now is Jimmy Key. Jimmy, does it get any different? As much excitement tonight as you can ask for.
It's just as exciting as our first two, but I tell you, I'm sitting around looking at everybody, and I'm looking forward to taking it a step further this time. I've been through this. It's my third time, and I want to go to the next one. This is fun, but I want to go to the next one.
What did it do to the players when Pat Gillick continued to make all the moves throughout the course of the season?
I've said all along this is Pat's best year since I've been here as far as trying to keep the team together with all the injuries we've had. He brought in quality people that he felt like it was going to be good down the stretch, and it paid off tonight. You see the Carter with a big hit, Maldonado with a big home run, Candiotti on the mound in a big game. It all paid off, and this is, to me, Pat's best year.
Looking back at the year in total, how much did the defensive improvement have to do with the improvement of the pitching staff as a whole?
Well, this is by far our best outfield defense. There's no question about that. And with Robbie at second base, he's by far the best second baseman we've ever had. So they're the reason that we got the leading ERA in the league. There's no question about that. We got basically the same pitchers. You just got better defense out there.
How does this team match up with the other teams that won the division championship as far as the way they've stuck together through some tough times?
Well, we had to stick through. You know, with Detroit and Boston both challenged us, and this team showed a lot of character holding together. And tonight didn't look good a couple times, but the guys kept fighting back and beat one of the best relievers, probably the best this year, to win this thing.
Jimmy's going to be a great trip to Minnesota.
I'm looking forward to it.
Enjoy it. Thank you. Devo, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sweet. It seems like not too long ago you were to Edmonton last year and everybody was ready to throw dirt on you, but it looks like the Blue Jays were the best medicine for Devon White.
Oh, definitely. It's new life for me over here, and hey, it's no feeling like this one tonight.
What did Cito Gaston's influence have to do with your season this year?
Oh, I think, you know, Cito is going to be on the top of my list. You know, Dave Winfield, he tried to take the money out of my pocket, but he's up there with Dave Winfield. I really respect these people, and Cito is just, you know, he showed me that he played baseball and he know what it's all about. He didn't, you know, coach just like, you know, other managers would. He was more like a player himself, and you know, I was sad to see him go for that, you know, month or so. And when he came back and said he was 75%, hey, I couldn't tell you how I felt. I felt, you know, real secure when he was back.
When you got
nothing against
nothing against anybody at all.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at this leadoff hit in the ninth. You step to the plate, your club is down. You guys have done it so often at the top of the lineup. Tell us what you were thinking when you saw that pitch coming.
Well, I'm looking pretty much for a fastball to get on Harvey. Yeah, he's an ace pitcher, and you know, I'm trying to get on him as soon before he can get deep in the count, because he has an awesome forkball and he throws it probably 90 miles an hour. So my job was just try to get an extra base hit to get to second base, and Alomar, you know, do the usual and get me over, and Joe drive me in. But it didn't work that way.
Simple formula, isn't it?
Oh, simple formula. It's been going like that the whole year, and you know, it's with those two guys behind me. You know, it's a lot of confidence. I get up there and I'm like, sure, all I got to do is get on base. These guys gonna drive me in.
Looks like Devon White's having fun playing ball again.
Oh, definitely. The fun never went anywhere. You know, it's just, you know, maybe there's stuff around me, but the fun of this game never went anywhere.
Enjoy the night.
Thank you, Buck.
Candy. Way to go, Candy. Congratulations.
Thank you.
This will be the 5th trip for you to the championship series. Does it get to be old hat after a while?
Well, no, but this is very special, you know, Buck. After what I went through all year and just coming here, I know they were there before, you know, they were in first place, and just being able to get another chance to show yourself again and at least be able to contribute.
Let's have a look at this 2-run homer off Scotty Bales. Any doubt about it at the plate?
Oh my God! All I wanted was to stay fair. But just the fact that we went ahead, you know, at that time, I just want to control my emotions because, you know, I know we still had a few more innings to go, but anything you can do, you know, this was important. You know, I figured that today, 4 million fans, they've been supporting this team. The organization wanted it to be this way. I think it's the greatest gift we could have.
What do you think about the Blue Jays finally realizing that you could contribute down the stretch and making a deal for you?
Thank you, Mr. Gillick. Thank you, Laura, because, you know, it made it possible. But, hey, this is a first-class organization from the top to the bottom. The trainers, you know, Jeff taking care of the equipment and the bat boys. It's like unbelievable. You know, I'm not saying this because we won it. Since I got the trade and I talked on the phone, everything was positive. And coming here, you know, this is the place we want to be. This is the place that I would like to finish my career, let me tell you.
Wouldn't be too bad. We'd love to have you. Congratulations
Thank
again,
you.
Andy.
Thank you.
Cito's with us, and he's just standing off to the side. But I tell you, you can see by the excitement. Boomer, congratulations, buddy. I saw you react after that home run. I know it was going through your mind. You felt like you may have let somebody down, but it's a happy time now. You deserve a lot of credit for the adjustments you've made, going from the starting role into the bullpen. Tell me your thoughts right now as you're relishing something that you had an awful lot to do with.
Well, I'm enjoying the moments right now, Buck. It's just, it's the best feeling that you can have, and one of the best feelings. Not the best, but one of the best. And, you know, I'm just feeling real good about myself and the team and the way we've come through and won this.
You've got, it's not done yet. I know you're not done yet. You got something else on your mind, don't you?
And you know it.
Enjoy the night, David.
Thank you, Buck.
Cito, congratulations. Been a long trek since spring training. It's got to take a little pressure off your back, huh?
Well, I tell you what, we can go over to Minnesota and relax for a couple of days anyway. It's hard to describe, Buck. You know, it's kind of like in '85 when we won. I guess in '87 too. I guess the first thing happened is tears came to my eyes because I know how hard these guys have fought this year. We've had a lot of injuries. Even the manager went down one time this year. So it's been a tough year, but these guys never quit. And, it's great.
Cito, you made an entire transition in the style of play, gone from an offensive club to a fundamentally sound, good defensive club with great pitching. Were you concerned at any point that maybe that wasn't going to be the right path to take for this ball club?
Well, you know, there was a time there that we had to scuffle for runs, and we did most of the year. But we managed to come up with a couple just like we did this last inning here, and it's been tough. But our guys just never quit, Buck. We don't have the home run power we used to have when you were here, and a lot of other guys were here. But we managed to pitch well and play good defense. And if you can pitch well and play good defense, you got a chance of doing just what we just did.
You got a lot of depth in the pitching staff. The defense has improved tremendously. You knew what you were going to get with Joe Carter. RBIs, clutch player, quality guy. Robbie Alomar, maybe a bit of an unknown because he was so young. But what about what Devon White gave you this year in center field?
Well, I tell you, if we'd have had Devon in center field last year, we probably would have won last year. I think Mookie did an outstanding job in center field. But I think Devon takes a little bit of pressure away from the guys on his right or left side of him. He's just been an outstanding player. And we got a lot of the most valuable players on this team. I don't know which one to pick, but.
What did you think when you went to the bottom of the ninth against one of the toughest pitchers in the league? You had your top three guys up at the plate, and you got to say, well, can they do it?
Well, this is tough. I said this is going to be tough. We got Ike going out of there, which I was kind of happy to see. But, you know, if you bunt him over the way our bullpen's going right now, so we took a chance, and it worked out. Sometimes you have to take a chance, but 9 times out of 10, he would probably get us out.
Cito, how far can this ball club go?
We can go all the way, Bud.
Super. Enjoy the night.
Thanks. Okay.
David, congratulations, buddy. Got to be kind of a tough time for you. I can relate to what you're going through right now. And tell me what's really on your mind. I know you were awfully excited when they finally won that game tonight.
Well, I've already gone through the tough times, Buck. You know, it's great to be here and great to see these guys do this. It's a truly talented team, a deep team. For a team like us to have the injuries we did and have guys step in key roles and do the job, you know, this is obviously a great team.
When you sat back and you lost Ken Daly in spring training, then Tom Henke went down, then the injury to yourself, that really has to say a lot about the depth of this organization.
Well, yeah, it does. It speaks for itself, and you know, that's the big change, I think, in this ball club this year from past years.
You're going to hang with him and go through the whole thing?
I sure am.
Enjoy it. Good seeing you, Dave. Kelly Gruber. Congratulations, Kel. Got to feel great, doesn't it?
Oh, it feels great.
Does this one feel any better than the other two?
Not really. doesn't, but I'll tell you this, the expectation does.
You know, it's been kind of a shaky year because of the injuries for you, but you had a spurt there in September that really got the club turned around in the right way in the way they started the month of September.
Well, I don't know if it was me, but we all did a super job. I think a lot of credit goes to a lot of people all the way up the top, all the way to the bottom, and it's just a great team effort. And we had big plays coming all year from Robbie and the new guys, Joe and Devon. We couldn't have done it without them.
This is a true team, isn't it?
I think so. I really do. I think it's a championship team, and I feel good about everything. I really do.
Enjoy the night, group. Have a great trip to Minnesota.
Thanks, Buck.
Jim, that's the story down in the clubhouse. Now let's go back upstairs to you.
And what a tremendous celebration. Dave Stieb involved in it. Who would have thought this team could win the championship with an 18-game winner from a year ago out of the lineup since the 22nd of May? Jimmy Key touched on it when he said Pat Gillick might have had his best year. He acquired White, he acquired Alomar and Carter and Maldonado and Candiotti. And one of his best moves he might have made in 1987 when he made a trade Mike Sharperson to Los Angeles and picked up Juan Guzman, who now hasn't lost in his last 20 starts. And when Dave Stieb went down, he came on to go 10-2 down the stretch and be a great contributor to a championship for the Toronto Blue Jays. Maybe Pat Gillick is the MVP for the Toronto Blue Jays this season, but I'm sure they'd hand that award to a few people in the clubhouse right now. Final score in a thrilling comeback, a 6-5 win for the Blue Jays over the California Angels to sew up the East.
The Sky Dome tonight got their money's worth, except the ones that left when they thought, wow, the Jays aren't going to be pulling this one out.
People actually left, Kev? No way.
No.
Not one of them. Not those people. Not the Jays fans. Thanks very much. Well, they say one is a lonely number, but for the record-setting 4 million-plus fans who have watched the Jays all season at the Sky Dome, one was a magic number. One more win or one more Red Sox loss, and the Blue Jays would have their third division title. The only thing that stood in the way of the Jays and their fans turning the Dome into a giant party room was the California Angels. Tom Candiotti got the call for Toronto to try and get that one win. Things don't look good for the Candyman early. Down 1-0 in the fourth. Gary Gaetti laces a pitch into the left field corner. A ground rule double, scores 2 runs, and it is 3-0 for the Halos. But in the fifth, the Jays come back. Devon White hits a bases-loaded smash that is too hot for Gary Gaetti. Dave Parker scores. It's 3-1. Then starter Joe Gray walks Roberto Alomar to bring in the Blue Jays' second run. Borders crosses the plate. Suddenly it's 3-2. To the sixth now. Scott Bales on in relief. A man on for Candy Maldonado, and he loses this pitch into the seats in left. A 2-run blast, his 12th of the year and 7th as a Jay, made it 4-3. It was only the Blue Jays' second hit of the game. Fans loving it as Candy crosses the plate, but those would turn soon to frowns in the eighth. Dave Winfield, the Jay killer, facing David Wells. He takes the boomer downtown into the seats. Wells can't believe it. Watch Cito here. He's shaking his head as well. This tied the game at 4 apiece. That was Winfield's 28th big fly of the year. Top of the ninth, Mike Timlin on the mound. Dave Gallagher at the plate. He sends one into shallow left. Abner on his horse takes off and scores. The Angels are in front 5-4. But hold on. Let's go to the bottom of the ninth. The Jays reach into their magic bag. Devon White at first. Alomar ground ball to second. The ball gets away, and Devo is going to motor home with a tying run. Roberto goes to second on the play. Then the drama. Here is the moment the fans were waiting for. Alomar steals third. Joe Carter at the plate, and who better to single home the winning run? Alomar will cross the plate, and the celebration at the Sky Dome begins. Their third American League East title in Blue Jay history. And we can run some other footage. Let's go back to the local. There's the winning run, and here's how the fans at the locker room reacted as they saw the winning run come across the plate. The Minnesota Twins are up next for the Blue Jays as they start the championship series on Tuesday. They've got a little 3-game series on the weekend, but it'll be a great chance for the Jays to rest their players. Now, while the Jays were finishing up with the Angels, the Red Sox were desperately trying to keep their postseason hopes alive with a win over Detroit. Let's go to the top of the first now. Joe Hesketh uncorks a wild pitch. Skeeter Barnes will race in from third. He is safe. It's 1-0 for the Tigers. Bottom of the first, Jody Reed at the plate, and he drives one just inside the left field line and into the corner. Wade Boggs trots home, and suddenly this game is tied at 1-1. Now let's go to the top of the third. Pete Incaviglia, the big guy, singles to left center. Skeeter Barnes scores to make it 2-1 for the Tigs, and Bob McIntyre is smiling at this point. To the fifth inning, the Sox will come back. The game is tied at 2. Big Mo Vaughn drives in Plantier. It was 3-2. But who cares? The Sox are winning, but it doesn't matter anymore because the Jays have already clinched. I'm sorry, Red Sox fans, it is over. But the battle for top spot in the National League West is not over. It continued tonight. The Braves trailing the front-running Dodgers by 1 as they took on the Reds in Cincinnati. And we have some of the highlights from Riverfront. Braves need just 1 inning to beat the Reds tonight. It's the first inning. Terry Pendleton down the first base line. Lonnie Smith comes home. Pendleton will motor all the way around a third, and he is in with a